Okay, in this tutorial we're going to take a look at how to customize a wall tag. The techniques that I'll show you here really can apply to just about any tag in Revit, but there are some subtle but simple techniques to be able to customize how the leader is assigned and how it interacts with the object to which you're assigning the tag. So first let's take a look at customizing the arrowhead on the tag. First thing we'll do is we'll select the wall tag and access its type properties. In Revit 2010 you have the ability to click on the little pull down where it says element properties and go right into the type properties. Within every tag in Revit you have a property called leader arrowhead. If I drop that down you'll see the arrowhead styles that I have defined in the project so far. What I'm looking for right now is a style that is essentially a thickened end, which I don't happen to have in this demonstration project, so I have to make it first. So I'm going to cancel out of the Type Properties dialog, go over to the Manage tab in the Revit 2010 ribbon, go to Settings, and it's pretty much in the same spot in Revit 2009. If you still happen to be using that, you just go to the Settings menu and you go down to Arrowheads. Arrowheads, I believe, is located under the annotations, loaded annotations in Revit 2009. But Settings Arrowheads, and we can start with one of the ones that we have. It really doesn't matter. We'll first click Duplicate, and we'll call this one Heavy Tick Mark. And the arrow style here are the default styles of arrows that come in every Revit product. So we're going to choose the heavy end tick mark style. The tick size will set to something that, let's say, about 1/4 of an inch, and that will be the actual plotted size. And then you set your thickness here by the pen weight. So let's set it something dramatic that might be like 8. Click OK. Now, when we go back to the type properties of the wall tag and go into the leader arrowhead dropdown, you'll see that we have our heavy tick mark style available. We click OK and we see that now the wall tag has the heavy tick mark. So that's part one, assigning the customized arrowhead into the tag. And this really applies to every type of tag in Revit. Second part of this is, how do I get this heavy tick mark to actually cross through the wall instead of just sitting on top of it? If I use my my tag by category tool from the Annotate ribbon, and I just simply click near a wall, you'll see that the default behavior is to kind of put it right in the center of that object. That's not what we want to happen. Well, the simple but effective tip to get your tag arrowheads to be in a customizable position is simply an option. When I'm using the tag by category tool, I can switch the option here to free end instead of attached end. The ones that I've placed before used attached end and basically has a default location on the object. If I select free end, when I hover my mouse near an object, you'll see that it gives me the opportunity of where I want to start this leader. Now, if I just where I place my cursor has a bearing on where the leader will start. So notice that one looks pretty similar to the one that I had before. Attempting that again, if I get my mouse somewhere near the opposite side of where I ultimately want to put the tag, you'll see that I can get that leader to sit across the wall. So it takes a little bit of practice, but it's ultimately a simple but effective technique to customize your tag arrowheads, particularly with focus on your wall tags.